Hey mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? Welcome back. I hope you're all well and I hope you're having a great day. How is that for a sneaky peek? So as I've mentioned in the previous videos, I'm actually a couple of weeks ahead of the footage. So for me, Project Bruce is done. It's sitting here and it's waiting to go to Bingley Hall on Saturday. Actually, I'm driving up Saturday, I'm overnighting it, and fingers crossed it should be in the hall at Bingley Hall. I asked over a month ago, British Mini Club, if it could go in. They asked me to send photos, fill out an application, still faffing around with emails and that sort of thing. However, Paul Jeffries contacted them and said, whatever way, whatever happens, Keith, we'll sort it out, we'll get it in the hall. So it should be in the hall somewhere. I just can't tell you where, and it's not been confirmed yet. So Bingley Hall Sunday, couple of 100 miles in a 1 litre auto up the motorway. It's going to be interesting, but I'm sure it's going to get there absolutely fine. Today's episode of the video, it's a bit all over the place. So if you watch very closely, I'm sure someone will pick out the continuity is not quite right in the video, and some of that is just because I've got loads and loads of footage. As you've seen, I've been really busy. I was working on the car full time every day. Filming bits and bobs here and there, and I just couldn't keep up with the footage and get it edited and that sort of thing. So we're coming to the end of the build now. After today's episode, I think there'll probably be 2 or 3 more episodes. We've got the MOT to do. We'll probably have a final walk around of the car and a final look at the car, and then I'll go over the budget in detail. Now, the car looks absolutely fantastic on the exterior. I'm really pleased with how it's come out. I'm going to get the excuses out early because I'm sure some people will come and look at it at the show, and there's a few little bits missing. Like there's dash trim missing, so there's a bit of trim missing off the dash. The reason for that is, like I said right at the very start, the whole idea of this project was to do it on a budget, do it as cheap as possible. It wasn't about creating a show car or anything like that. It was about saving a mini which was probably borderline going to end up in the scrapyard. It was about saving it, doing it as cheap as possible, getting the car road legal, mechanically sound, presentable, all the same colour, all solid, and then being able to sell it on for as cheap as possible. So that's what it's all about, and in a future episode I will go through the budget. So there's things like the dash trim is missing. It's only 20 quid for a new bit of trim, but the new owner wants to put his own dash in it, so I've left that. The parcel shelf trim is missing. Again, these are things that the new owner can do, and there's no point me doing it because it just adds on to the budget. It adds on to the price that the car's going to be when it gets passed on to the new owner, and it just allows them to put their touch on it. So if you come over and have a look, don't think I'm slacking. There are a couple of little bits of trim and that sort of thing that, yeah, are just there. Like I say, the new owner will do that sort of thing. So I really hope you've enjoyed the project. We're not quite finished yet as far as the videos go, a few more to go. Hi to all the new subscribers if you've subscribed recently. Hope you enjoy this week's episode, and yeah, if you do get a chance to come over and say hi at Bingley Hall, I'll be there all day. I'll have a load of stickers in my pocket if you want some stickers, and yeah, look forward to seeing some of you. Cheers. doesn't always go right. So everything that could possibly go wrong has just gone wrong in the last 5 minutes. So I've got a reaction on the filler all over the place actually. I'm not sure what was causing it, but this is what worried me about the scuttle panel. There's loads and loads of paint on the bonnet. Now, I do not want to go back to bare metal on the bonnet, just with it being a big flat panel. It will show up. Doesn't matter how much I skim it over with filler. If I go back to bare metal and then paint it, I'm not skillful enough to get it back to a decent finish. So it may just be that we're going over multiple layers of paint. So I've had to stop. I've flatted back the areas which were problematic, and as you can probably see on there, it's where there's multiple layers of paint. So I've panel wiped off again. We're going to give it another go. If I can get a good few coats of filler primer on it and then flat back the filler primer and not rub through, hopefully I should be okay for the top coat. But I think that is a problem with multiple layers of paint. It's Storm Eunice today. So is it Eunice? It's the 18th of February, so it's gusting 80 odd miles an hour outside, so I can't have the extractor on because the wind is coming into the garage. As soon as I open that garage door, there's just bits of tree and leaves and everything coming in, so it's far from ideal. I keep getting power cuts, so it's tripping in, tripping out. That tripped out the compressor, so I had to pull the compressor out. There's a hidden trip on the back of it to reset the compressor, and then I reset the compressor, and then one of the lines blew on the compressor from the compressor to the air tank, and it's just been a flipping nightmare. It's just keep our fingers crossed that I'll get this next coat of filler primer on okay. The canes have reacted as well, so it is just going over old paint. It's a flipping nightmare. Yeah, like I say, ideally, you know, I guess I could, people will comment, I guess I could nitramorse it, I could do, but it's just, I just want to get it done, to be honest. I could spend another week doing this bonnet. Right, thankfully it looks like no more reactions. So I'm going to mix up the last cup of filler primer. I've pretty much run out of filler primer now, and I'm going to get it on nice and thick, just because I want a good layer of filler primer between the old paint and the new paint. I definitely don't want the new paint to react. That's my plan. It might be the wrong thing to do, but we'll find out. Right, the GoPro battery is dying, so I'm not going to be able to time lapse this bit, but I'm just gonna, so that's had lots of filler primer on it. I've then wet flatted it back down with 800 wet and dry, and now we're going to blast it with some colour, and fingers crossed I won't get any more reactions. We'll see in a minute. Right, so that's the bonnet painted as well. I literally, at the end there, I was washing the dregs out the bottom of the paint can, literally like putting the thinners in the paint can to get the very, very last bits out, because yeah, I run out of paint. I run out of everything. So I run out of paint, I run out of thinners, tiny little bit of thinners left. I run out of filler primer earlier, and I think, I mean, I'm pretty pleased with it. I always feel like, should I do one more coat? That had, I guess you would say, it's about 4 coats. One really, really light one sort of normal coat, I would say, and then 2 quite heavy coats. It is a bit orange peely though, but providing there's plenty of paint on there, I can flat that back. But nothing's reacted, which is the main bit, to be honest. And it looks all right. I mean, I'm pretty pleased. Like I say, it's my first time doing this. I do think having a really decent spray gun helps. Right, perfectionism has got the better of me. I decided there was too much orange peel in this bonnet, so I've not gone mad. I've literally just done that with 2500 wet, and there's still orange peel in it, but I just want it a little bit better than it is. I just need to machine that back now, and we'll see what it looks like. Really, really nervous, because like I say, I don't know the paint thickness, so I do not want to rub through. Right, thank God I didn't balls it up. I don't know how well it will come out on the camera. I've not gone mad on it. Like I say, I just wanted to remove a bit more of the orange peel. There was just a bit too much on it. I don't know if you'll be able to see the difference with the other side now. Hopefully that shows up on camera. Right, so just getting it ready for the rear lights to go back in. So obviously we've got our spray line down the bottom here, so new paint down there, old paint up there. I've just used some Ferrecla G3 on the mop just to polish it. The paintwork on this actually comes up really, really nice. It's lovely, beautiful reflections in that. So hopefully the whole car comes up like that. Obviously if you look really closely, it's probably not going to show on the camera, but to a trained eye, if you're looking really closely, you can see that that's been blended in. But I think it will, with the lights in, it'll be even harder to see. But I'm pretty pleased with that. Pretty pleased with that. Obviously I need to blend in that rear quarter as well, but I wanted to do the lights first so I can get the lights in, get the boot lid on, and then I'm gonna get the tank back in, get it all watertight, and then I'm gonna get it outside. I'm gonna use iron out cleaner on the whole car, just because I've been cutting and grinding, so there'll be metal particles in it. The iron out should get all of that out. Give it a good snow foam clean off, and then I can get back in and it'll be compounding the whole car.
Oh, a holy crime. But how can I hide you without an alibi? It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Going wrong like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Everything that brought me alive. Going around like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi.
No dramas. Right, it's probably been about 7 or 8 hours since I last done a bit of an update. So I have machine polished the whole car. I've done all around the back end. All the back end is kind of all fitted back up now, apart from the bumper just to go on. The machine polishing went really, really well. The paint has come out really good. Once, like cellulose paint, it goes soft and kind of dulls back a little bit, but it's really come up nicely. And I literally just used Ferekla G3 on it. I did wet flat the scuttle panel just because it was a little bit rougher, but I'm very pleased. So I'm into building up the front end at the moment, trying to do it without scratching anything. None of the electrics work. I've just started looking at the fuse box, and the fuse box is just rotten. You touch any of the these terminals and they just break off. So I think, and in fact I think there's just a wire that's just, yeah, oh my god, this is going to be fun. So I need to redo all the fuse box. This is uncanny, this is, because all the bits I got off one chest, body panel wires, I think I used all of them. And there's a fuse box up there as well, so I shall go and grab that fuse box and use that fuse box. Right, fast forward a couple of hours. I think all the electrics work now. There was loads of problems. Obviously one of the main causes was this fuse box. You can see how corroded the terminals are on it. The fuse box that one chish gave to me was second hand, but it was much better than the one that was on there. So new fuse box in there. Most of the connectors broke when I took them off, and then they all had really bad corrosion on the copper, or where they sort of go black like that. Connectors on the flasher relays, just general problems with the earthing on the wiring harness down the front, the switches, everything has really been sort of testing my electrical prowess. Although it's a Mini, it's not difficult, to be honest, but fingers crossed everything works on it now. This will be going for an MOT in 2 days time. Horn, did I check the horn? Yes, even the horn works. So yeah, what have I got to do now? Grill on, I think.